Welcome into Carpooling with Ben. Today I have a group that you may often think about specifically around the holidays, but really they're in operation year-round, and it's not Trinity Rep. It is the Rhode Island Community Food Bank, although Trinity Rep is a huge supporter of you guys.
They are.
They do great work. So I have Hugh and Kelly. What do you guys do over there?
We are the Rhode Island Community Food Bank is the biggest distribution warehouse center for food pantries throughout the state of Rhode Island.
Okay.
So we provide food to 160 different agencies, and I like to say from Westerly to Woonsocket, so
Wow.
all across the state.
That's quite an operation.
The way the food bank works is we distribute food to the agencies that we work with throughout the area, and then clients go there, they pick up their food. Often they have a lot of other social services available for them.
Okay.
Some of our pantries will help them with heating assistance or finding jobs, things like that.
Wow.
So that network really provides food to about 59,000 people every month.
Wow.
So like you said, we talk about the holidays, but we're serving that number of people all year long.
12
So
months out of the year,
12 months
you
out of the
guys
year.
are relying on the donations, whether it be tangible or financial. And
Right.
really, the financial ones are perhaps some of the best because you can fulfill a specific need and target with that. And you guys have a lot of buying power, which is
We do.
a huge part of working with you.
We do. We're really, we've worked hard so that with every dollar that we receive, we can buy about 3 pounds of food. So, just, think of what a jar of peanut butter costs in the market.
Sure.
If you were to buy it and donate it, we can probably get, a case of peanut butter for the same price. So, we're always shopping for best prices. We work with a lot of the wholesalers, to really get a decent price on the food that we buy. But also, when we purchase food, which right now we're purchasing about a third of all the food that we distribute, we can really make healthy choices for people.
Okay.
We're not getting food donated that may not be the best thing.
Sure.
We're always trying to buy fresh produce, what we call core foods, which are things that people can make meals with.
Okay.
The big items, of course, rice, pasta, because you can stretch those out, canned vegetables and fruits, things like that. So those are the things we actually purchase with our donors' money.
Wow.
Yeah, and out of the 9.5 million pounds of food we distributed last year, about 2.2 million of that was fresh produce.
Oh, that's great. I mean, and you guys get support from local farms and
We do.
suppliers around here, which is obviously a great thing to support the local economy, but also it's less cost because you don't have to truck it all the way across the country. So that's always great to hear. You guys do events at different points throughout the year, and you have a lot of events that are done for you in a way by the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the various groups that are out there, Trinity Rep being one of them.
Yep.
What events do you guys have coming up that people may be able to get involved with?
Sure. Kelly,
I do the events. So we have two major fundraising events that we do. Just this past April, for the fifth year in a row, I think we had the truck stop event,
Okay.
which we partner up with Eat Drink Rhode Island, and we get about 20 food trucks to come,
Okay.
and folks buy a ticket and can kind of taste from the food trucks all night. We have a band, we have a bar.
You have a party.
It's a big party, and it sells out way in advance.
Okay.
So if you hear about it, if it's coming up next spring, get your tickets right away.
Well, even more reason to subscribe to you guys on
Exactly.
Facebook
It's
and
all
follow
on
you guys, so
Facebook.
you'll have the first hit. But what else is coming up?
In the fall, we have a really exciting event that this is our third year doing it. It's called Empty Bowls.
Okay.
So Empty Bowls is a concept that started over 25 years ago, that a ceramics teacher had started as a way for him and his students to kind of help with the hunger problem in their community.
Okay.
So they basically made a bunch of bowls and then had a soup dinner and invited people to come and buy a bowl, and then the money that they collected went to a hunger organization. So that's kind of the model of it, but
Okay.
Food banks do it all over, and so we basically have made relationships with a lot of local artists, and each year we request 1,000 bowls
Okay.
that they donate.
Sure.
And the artists have just been so generous and excited to help us out. And then we usually have about 35 to 40 restaurants who are offering tastings. So basically, with the ticket price, you can come in, you can choose a bowl from our huge selection of bowls. You take that bowl home with you as a reminder of all the empty bowls in the community. And then that night, we all eat together and taste some of the awesome food from the local restaurants. And the restaurant folks are also so generous. It's really a great night.
That's such a great event. I mean, that's a
It's
really
a great
cool
event.
idea.
It
You
is.
know,
You have
you're
to come to it.
tying in the art community. It always
Mm-hmm.
works when you bring all these organizations together. And let's face it, you know, there are a lot of uh, different uh, organizations out there that are looking for funds and looking for support.
Mm-hmm.
When you can bring everybody together and align yourselves, even though in the grand scheme of things you're competing for that donation, you're helping each other out and bringing awareness to the various causes and needs out there. And one of the, I mean, is there really a more important, aside from health related, is there really a more important need other than food?
I
Because
think it's something everybody can really relate to.
sure,
We all need to eat. We all know what it's like when we don't have a meal.
and we know what the effects are of children
Mm-hmm.
that don't have enough food when they go to school. It affects their learning and affects their overall development and growth. So it's really important the work that you guys are doing. And as we we touched on in the beginning, it's not just the holidays that
Right.
you're out there, actively getting your message out. It's all year round. What is the toughest time for the food bank as far as donation wise?
Yeah, it's really, we're in the middle of the summer and we really see donations drop off during the
Okay.
summer. I think people are on vacation, people just aren't thinking about the needs in the community at that point. But as I said before, we're still serving the same number of people, and we're actually serving more children during the summer
Okay.
because we find that children who receive school meals,
Okay.
at school during the year, and that's about 50,000 kids in Rhode Island.
Right.
Once school is out, they have to find some other place to go to get those meals. Their parents have to find some other way to get them. We have some park programs that serve kids free meals all summer, but they're only reaching maybe 10 or 12,000 kids. So
Yeah.
there's still this gap, and that's what we see these families coming into our pantries
Okay.
during the summer months to try and fill that gap.
Sure. And that's where the the monetary donations really take a hit, because if you're not getting the tangible goods, which are important and it's
Yep.
good for people who want to do that, but those monetary donations, that's when you guys really get stretched.
Definitely, yeah, because we have a lot of different ways we're getting food out to families during the summer, and so we need funds to support that. One of the things we do, we have what we call Meals for Kids boxes, and it's a box of food that really could supply kids at least one meal for a week,
Okay.
so they can pick up that box at one of our pantries. So we really need the funds to purchase those and support those.
How much does one of those boxes cost?
I believe they go for about $12. So
$12
$12
to feed a child for a week.
for a week.
$12.
Yep. Again,
It's all stuff that kids can make on their own,
Right.
even if there's
Well, that's
not an
and
adult
that's
to help
great
them.
too, because you guys provide the education and the learning side and element of it. So, speaking of donations and boxes, you guys brought some show and tell. A first for carpooling with
We
Ben.
did. We
Well,
did.
we had the East Greenwich
We saw you
Animal
had some
League.
puppies.
We
had
saw
some
that.
puppies.
We saw the
Yeah.
puppies.
Those
I
were
know.
adorable. I've stopped sneezing.
Yeah.
But what do we have in the back there, Kelly?
So these are some of our most needed items, which we do have a list on our website that folks can look at. We have some tips on doing a food drive. We supply the boxes, which have our logo on it. Also posters that you can either get at the food bank or download. And so some of the basic donations we love to get are things like cereal.
Okay.
Some good proteins like beans and tuna fish, also peanut butter, and then also items that folks can really make meals out of. We have some mac and cheese here, some canned soups, of course, a staple,
All right.
and then things like pasta and tomato sauce is always helpful.
One of my favorites.
Can't go
Also
wrong.
have some nice brown rice here, and of course some vegetables. So those are kind of things we love to get
You
that we could always use.
when people make a donation, if they want to do tangible, or if they get the bag from the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts or whomever, um, it's really one of those things where, some people just say, oh, I open up the cover and I look what's in the bag and it hasn't been touched for a while. It'd be really great if people took an intentional role with that, and paid attention to what you just showed there, or go to the website and learn a little bit more about what really will make an impact, because you need the healthy choices,
Right.
and that's there. You're not just throwing food at people. There is a lot of research and insight that goes into what you guys do. You have to, in order to keep people healthy.
Right. Yeah, these are things that people can make meals out of that will last for a while for them. And it's really easy. I mean, some of these things are relatively inexpensive. You can find, canned vegetables on sale, 3 cans for $1.
Sure.
That's a great opportunity to stock up and donate them to the food bank.
Sure.
And some people choose to do, a food drive for a specific item. I know of a girl who encouraged her karate class to do a cereal drive, so
Yep.
they collected all cereal, and that's kind of fun and also
Sure.
a great way to do it.
It's a great way to really focus the efforts and keep people thinking.
Yeah, it makes it easier for people. A lot of people do ask, what do you really need? What should I donate? And like you said, we do end up with, I was looking through an area today and we have tons of canned olives.
Okay.
Now, so that's one of those things, I'm sure people see that in their cupboard and they think, I'll donate that. It's not really a core food
Sure.
that we can do that much with. So we really want people to think a little bit more about, canned vegetables, rice, beans, pasta. Tuna is such a great donation for people. It's full of protein and they can do a lot of different things with it.
That's great. I know it's August now, and people may continue to watch this throughout, but as we're getting towards as we're winding down 2017, there's great opportunities for people to make a contribution if they want a little assistance with their taxes, but also um, annual and recurring gifts. You guys can set all that stuff up, correct?
We can, yeah. We have a Sustainers Harvest program
Okay.
where people can make monthly donations, and it can be as little as $5 a month, whatever people are comfortable with. But I can't say enough how much that adds up for us.
And the beauty is when you do those recurring programs, you sign up once and you don't have to worry about it.
Right. You don't even think about it.
And it's also funds that we know are coming.
Sure.
Right.
So we can kind of plan ahead.
It's like Ronco used to be. Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it.
Absolutely. Or whatever the amount may be.
Right.
And not just because we passed a funeral home, but gifts in memory of, or
Definitely.
estate gifts. Anybody can contact your offices there and find information if they want to make a gift when they move to the great hereafter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great way to keep your legacy going and
Sure.
assure that people will be able to be fed.
Not that we want
No.
to think about that, but it's something it's a reality, and for people who may watch this, and it's a tough conversation to have, but it's one that you have to have, and it can really impact beyond your own existence, which is huge. What's a better legacy than that?
Definitely. And it's really all part of people's financial planning. Where do you want your money to go? How do you want it to be spent? And people can plan now and later.
Sure. I mean, there's opportunities all over television for you to send money to other countries, but there's a great need right here in Rhode Island, in New England, if people are watching in Massachusetts, or within their own state, because you guys work with a network nationwide. So in their own individual state, charity begins at home.
Sure.
Philanthropy starts here.
We are. We're part of Feeding America, which
Okay.
is a national network of food banks. But all of our funds and contributions sit right here in Rhode Island. As I said, we have 160 agencies throughout the state. So the folks that we're serving are your neighbors, the people you work with, people that your kids go to school with. Those are the people that we're helping.
Something else you guys offer, and I want to touch on this before we wrap up. You guys offer an opportunity. It's a bit of an unconventional team building opportunity where businesses can come in and spend a little time working there and learning about what you do. Can you tell us about that program and how people can get their bosses to sign up?
Sure. We love having corporate groups come. It's a great opportunity for us to get our message out. give them a little tour so that they know what we do. They can see our facility, and then put in about 3 hours packing food or inspecting and sorting food. And what the volunteers do is basically get the food ready that's been donated to get it out to the agency so that the agencies don't have to worry about checking the dates or the packaging. We've done all of that for them. So yeah, I have about 60 regular volunteers that come on a weekly basis, and then we reserve the rest of our slots for corporate groups and school groups and civic groups.
So it can be schools,
Yep.
it could be, other organizations, civic groups,
Exactly.
businesses.
Yeah, we get a lot of businesses, a lot of church groups, school groups. Children do have to be 14
Yep.
at least to
Okay.
volunteer at the food bank.
Good
So
to
we have
know.
high school kids coming in to get their
Community
Service.
service.
That's great.
a
That's
lot of
awesome.
them. Sometimes they stay after they finish their hours, which is always awesome.
Well, that just means that what they're doing means something very special to them, and it's having an impact on their lives. And hopefully, they take those lessons with them as they continue and grow.
Definitely.
That's
One
awesome.
of the really cool programs that I'd love to tell you about is the Community Kitchen program.
Okay.
So we actually have a culinary arts training program. We usually have about 13 students here full time for 14 weeks. It's a free program for adults who need job skills,
Okay.
and they get trained in the kitchen so that when they graduate, they can be a prep cook or a line cook and then move their way up from there. So we're actually training folks to get jobs.
Really?
And we've been doing this for 20 years, about 20 years, and we usually have 3 classes per year. So a
Wow.
lot of students have come through, and we kind of, we have 2 chef instructors. We also,
I think I saw them walking when I picked
Yeah,
you
you
walking
probably
around when I
did,
saw
yeah.
you picking them up.
and
we
we
look-
also
They looked
have,
very chef-like.
yes, we get them
Chefish.
all of their uniforms. We help them with their resume. We set them up on interviews and teach them how to give a good interview. I usually give them a tour on their first day, and they've only been there for 3 hours. And as soon as I walk in the room, they all shake my hand and introduce themselves.
That's excellent.
And so we have a lot of good relationships with local restaurants, as well as like corporate cafeterias or nursing homes, where our students actually do internships there, and then a lot of times get hired.
Yeah, job placement for
Yeah.
something
Yeah, it's
like
great.
that is excellent.
The
Well,
placement rate is close to 90%. I
Whoa.
think the students graduate and end
Wow.
up with jobs, and some of them are just waiting for the right job.
Right,
So
sure.
it might take a little longer.
So we
But-
have a huge group of alumni that have graduated from the food bank and have really been able to, find careers because of it.
very similar. You guys are doing a lot of stuff now that's very similar to like Operation Stand Down Rhode Island, where it's not just a handout, it's a hand
Right.
up, and
Right.
it's helping to improve their and to so they can help and continue to give and benefit those a little further down the line.
Sure.
And
That's
it could be
awesome.
somebody, just starting out in a career, or it could be somebody who needs a career change and needs those skills to move forward and start a new life.
One other thing I wanted to ask you guys about is, in Rhode Island, we have a lot of farms. We have a lot of a rich history in farming and everything. How do you guys partner and align yourself with that?
Sure. We receive a lot of donations from the farm community, but we also actually run 4 of our own community farms,
Oh, wow.
and they're all volunteer run,
Okay.
and they produce about 60,000 pounds of fresh produce every year. So it's a great opportunity for people to get out, get their hands dirty, and help. And unlike working at the food bank where kids have to be 14, any age can come out and help at the community farm. It's a really fun day to spend a couple of hours as a family. You're either, depending on the time of year, you're either planting or picking fresh produce, or there's to clean up in the fall. And they're located all over the place, so it's a really fun opportunity for families to get engaged.
Most importantly, you have some very qualified volunteers and staff that help to run that. So if
Yep.
you have a problem with your green thumb,
Right.
come learn,
Right.
Get some
help
skills.
out, and then you can do your own farming, but continue to come back, have your own little garden.
Right.
Continue to come back and help out and work with you guys. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
You might learn that you love it.
Yeah,
End
absolutely.
up being a
Absolutely. You
gardener.
might learn how to
Yeah.
keep your plants alive.
Right,
What a
right, right.
concept, right? Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. And folks, find these guys on Facebook, on the website. They're all over the place. Learn about what they're doing. And most importantly, keep up with the different events they're doing, because if let me tell you something, if you're looking for a great event, these guys know how to do it. So
Mhm.
thank you both for joining me, and
Thank you.
I think we'll just continue to drive around here, and maybe we'll find a spot for lunch.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
keep going.